One of the best ways we stay minimal is to continue to declutter the things that I see we are not using every month. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. About a year ago, I started to document everything that I was decluttering or any items that were leaving our house every single month. And I thought it would be kind of an interesting experiment. And so I've been continuing to share every single month what I declutter. And why I started this was I was getting rid of a lot of things here and there, and I would just go donate them immediately. And I really didn't pay attention to how much was leaving our home. I thought it would be fun to share this with all of you because to stay more minimal, we do have to let things go constantly. We have to clear out the items that we're no longer using, especially if you have children. They're always shifting through different stages. They are growing, and if we don't pay attention, before we know it, our homes will be completely cluttered and overrun with stuff again. And I just wanted to share this because it is a simple process, but we do have to keep up with it every single month. We do not have a dishwasher, so we use drying mats. For Christmas, I was given 2 new matching drying mats, which were much needed. These actually, for some reason, just kind of stopped working. They don't absorb the water as well, and they are looking really mucky, and the hooks on them broke. So I am going to be decluttering these, which is also keeping with my rule of the 1 in, 1 out policy. And I've held on to those to make sure the other 2 were working and I liked them. And so now I'm happy to get rid of those. I'm also decluttering this can that obviously some alcohol came in, but this is something that I try to get rid of as soon as I know we don't have it anymore, because if you remember a video a long time ago, I said we had someone put this in the cupboard. I assumed there was something in it and it was empty. So this is going. I'm finally letting go of these IKEA poster holders. I bought these years ago and look at me, I've been holding on to them. I kept thinking that they would work in the boys' room or they would come in handy. I bought them in the hopes that I would have some big painting to hang, and I just never did that. We have all of our walls set up how we like them right now, and I don't see a place for these in the future. I even opened one and tried it on something, and I didn't like the way it was looking. So I'm just going to cut my losses and declutter these. I'm also decluttering some really big stuff this month, so I'm going to insert those clips here. I've finally come to the conclusion I'm going to either donate or sell these nesting tables. They were bought secondhand. They need to be refinished, which I think would be a fun project, but my husband said it's just not worth it because there are so many issues with them. Someone has actually put nails into this, and he said it would just be so much work. I'm also decluttering this step stool because my husband bought a new one that is way more sturdy. This was actually handed down to me from my parents, and it is pretty rickety and somewhat unsafe, to be honest. So we got a safer one, and I'm sticking with the 1 in, 1 out policy, and this one is going to go. We are going to donate this large mirror. It was the one that used to be in our living room, and we have no place for it now that we're putting in the barn door. And it also has a tiny bit of damage on the corner from when we first moved in here, but other than that, it's perfect. I'm also going to get rid of this mirror. We had this in my office, which we just redid. I can link that video, but this mirror just doesn't fit the vibe of our house. It never has, and it's huge, and there's really no place for it. And so yeah, I'm gonna just let it go. And I know it's kind of hard. I've tried it in every spot I thought it might work, and it's not going to. So instead of continuing to try, I'm just going to say goodbye. I've found since trying to adopt the minimalist lifestyle that we tend to want to hang on to bigger things like pieces of furniture, big mirrors and stuff like that. And honestly, if it's not working in your home, I'm gonna give you right now the permission to let that item go. Sometimes it's hard for me even. I've been holding on to those nesting tables for way too long. We haven't used them. They've just been sitting in the corner of our living room, and really it's time to let them go. So I am going to declutter those, and everything that I'm decluttering doesn't mean it's all necessarily donated, but I am going to have it leave our house in some way, either sold, decluttered, trash. And then here I have some socks because I needed new socks. I thought I'm going to get rid of all the old ones and in with the new, so sticking with the 1 in, 1 out policy. Then I realized my son has way too many t-shirts. So some of these were still barely fitting him, but I went through, found the ones that he rarely wears or pushes to the side all the time because his drawer was getting so overcrowded. All of these are in pretty good condition, and I am going to declutter these, and I don't think he'll even notice that they are gone, but now his drawer can shut easily. And as you may know, my mom is continuing to declutter, and I can link all those videos down below, but she actually brought these tights over here to see if I might want them, and there's no way I'm gonna wear these. I don't even think they would fit, so I'm going to declutter these for her since she doesn't want them either. And then she's been going through her photos, and she did not need this box where she was storing mementos and things, and I don't need it either. She brought it over here because she knew I was decluttering, but I just want to mention these items because even though I do show big decluttering projects with my mom, she's still continuing to get rid of little things here and there, which is awesome. So on to what I bought this month. I honestly am trying to rack my brain of what I bought. I know one thing I bought was 3 pairs of shoes, and now I know this sounds crazy, but I had only 1 pair of tennis shoes, and I really needed more shoes because I wear tennis shoes every single day. So I really wanted a pair of walking tennis shoes that had a lot of support, a pair of shoes that I could wear around the house. So kind of an indoor shoe that I could slide on but still had support since I'm home all day. I want to be wearing shoes. And then I also bought a pair of kind of garden outdoor shoes that could get messy because I needed the structure. My feet were really killing me, and I have to say that sometimes we need more of something. So I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I am decluttering 1 pair of shoes while I did bring 3 pairs in, but I really needed them. So in that case, you know, I think it's okay to not have the exact 1 in, 1 out policy because it was something that I thought about for a long time and I definitely really needed. And then really the only other things that we have been buying have been things to work on our home. So as you can see, we did the beadboard back here. So we of course bought that. My husband did buy a paint sprayer because we are working on a ton of projects here, and it's more cost effective for us to be able to paint our own stuff properly than to have to pay a painter every time we want to get something done. So those are the kind of things that now, being more minimal, I'm always thinking about is like, what can we buy that actually, or that we need to buy that will save us money in the long run and that makes sense for our family. And so those are the things that I think that's all we bought this month that I could think of, besides obviously food and then supplies for projects that we're doing around here. And I did buy a lime tree for our front yard. Make sure you're following us over on my other channel, Wood Guru, where we're sharing all the projects that we're currently doing on our home and our yard, because we're really trying to transform this home into a place that we love and is our style, and that's what we do for a living. That's what my husband does. So I planted that tree out there, so now we have an avocado tree and a lime tree out there, and of course that is so we can hopefully eat off of our own land, the things that we're growing in our garden beds and fruit trees. While this isn't a ton of stuff, you could see that if I had even this small amount of things sticking around every month, it would really add up to be a lot of clutter and things that we're not using. Here are all the piles of items that I donated within the last year. And as I just showed you with the pile I'm getting rid of this month, you can see that by decluttering a little bit every single month. And this is just going around my home and gathering the things I see really obviously. I'm not digging through and really trying to declutter, trying to find things. I'm just gathering those items that we're no longer using and taking them to the donation location or getting them out of my house in some way. And you can see where all these items really add up to being a lot of stuff that would just be shoved in a closet or taking up room in our garage that just isn't needed. Hopefully this was inspiring to help you to let go of those things that you no longer need in your life that are cluttering up your space. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.